What happens after the last breath? This question has stirred the curiosity of countless minds throughout history, inviting an exploration into realms where existence and non-existence meet. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, or the Bardo Thodol, serves as a guide through these mysterious territories, offering insight into what lies beyond the physical life. Rather than being a mere manual on the end of life, this text unfolds as a profound map, one that leads through the transitional states after death with compassion and clarity. In its essence, the Bardo Thodol is an invitation to view death not as an abrupt termination but as a transformative gateway, where the mind can encounter its true nature. The origins of this timeless text are as remarkable as its content. At the heart of its creation is Padmasambhava, a legendary figure credited with bringing Buddhism to Tibet during the 8th century. Known in Tibetan tradition as Guru Rinpoche or the Precious Master, Padmasambhava was more than a religious teacher. He was a spiritual visionary whose mastery of mystical techniques and esoteric teachings transformed the spiritual landscape of Tibet. His profound insight into the nature of death and the mind led to the formulation of guidelines intended to aid not only the living but also those transitioning from life to death. In a time when Tibet was a mosaic of shamanic practices and indigenous Bon beliefs, the introduction of Buddhism encountered resistance. Yet, the adeptness of Padmasambhava in navigating these diverse spiritual terrains allowed him to integrate local deities and traditions into the new Buddhist framework. The establishment of Tibet's first Buddhist monastery marked a turning point, laying a foundation for teachings that delved into the mind, reality, and the eternal cycle of existence known as samsara. Within this framework, death was reimagined as a phase of liberation, a unique moment when the mind, freed from the distractions of the body, becomes capable of perceiving the ultimate truth. The teachings of the Bardo Thodol remind one that death is not an end but a series of transitions where the self encounters various manifestations of its own nature. As the physical form dissolves, the consciousness is ushered into a realm that, despite its mystery, is governed by natural laws of perception and karmic imprint. The text paints a picture of a passage where liberation is attainable if the transient visions of the mind are met with understanding rather than fear. The role of this guide is both practical and symbolic. It calls on those who follow its wisdom to prepare the mind for the bardas, the intermediary states, where recognition of the self in its most unfiltered form offers the possibility of ultimate freedom. In exploring these concepts, the narrative does not shy away from the complexities of the mind. It acknowledges that while the opportunity for liberation exists, it is often clouded by illusions, attachments, and the residual fears of what is familiar. The Bardo Thodol challenges its readers to confront these inner landscapes, to see that the transient and often overwhelming visions that arise in the face of death are, in fact, reflections of the mind's own construction. This conversation with the unknown encourages a deep contemplation about the nature of reality, urging a preparation that extends well beyond the final breath. Such reflections offer not only a guide for the moment of death, but also an enduring lesson on living with mindfulness and an openness to the mysteries that bind existence. At the moment when the final breath leaves the body, the journey into the unknown begins. In the transitional state known as the Chikai Bardo, the physical form gives way to a liberated consciousness. This phase marks the point at which the body dissolves, and the mind is released from its material constraints. The dissolution is not viewed as a loss but as an opening, a moment when the distractions of the physical realm fall away, revealing a radiant, all-encompassing clear light. Described as dazzling and pure, this clear light embodies the absolute nature of the mind, an essence free from the entanglements of duality, fear, or attachment. The clear light stands as the luminous core of existence. a reflection of a state where all conditioning and accumulated identities vanish. In this ephemeral moment, there exists a direct encounter with what is sometimes referred to as the higher self or the solar mind, a state that holds the promise of instant liberation. The possibility of immediate enlightenment arises when the clear light is recognized not as an external phenomenon but as the inherent nature of the mind itself. This recognition is simple in its truth yet challenging in its realization. For those whose minds are prepared through deep contemplation and spiritual practice, the clear light serves as a beacon leading to nirvana, a state where the cycle of rebirth ceases. Yet, the clarity of this light can evoke a powerful reaction. When unacquainted with such purity, the mind may misinterpret the luminous vision as a threat. Fear and uncertainty can cloud the recognition of this intrinsic brilliance, causing the consciousness to recoil into the comfort of familiar illusions. In this retreat lies the potential for the continuation of the cycle of suffering. Thus, the Chikai Bardo becomes a critical juncture where the outcome depends entirely on the state of mind at the moment of death. It is a threshold that underscores the importance of spiritual preparation in life, inviting an awareness that extends beyond ordinary perception. Within this stage, the narrative of the Bardo Thodol is both a call to mindfulness and a subtle reminder that the journey does not end with the dissolution of the physical. Instead, it opens a portal to further exploration, where every fleeting moment carries the possibility of liberation. The text presents this phase with a blend of poetic insight and practical guidance, urging a calm detachment from the anxieties that might otherwise dominate the experience. The imagery of the clear light is rich and evocative, symbolizing a state of pure consciousness that remains unchanged amid the fleeting projections of the mind. The clarity of this moment stands as a metaphor for a profound truth, that beneath the layers of conditioning and temporary identities lies an unalterable essence. It is a truth that speaks in gentle tones, inviting a quiet recognition of the mind's intrinsic luminosity. The conversation within this realm is not one of fear or despair but of an awakening, a realization that even at the final moment, there exists a pathway to ultimate liberation. In this delicate interplay between dissolution and radiance, the Chikai Bardo sets the stage for the deeper, more intricate experiences that follow, where the mind's true nature is both challenged and revealed in its most vivid form. Once the clear light moment has passed or remains unrecognized, the consciousness embarks on a journey through what is known as the Koniad Bardo, a realm where the mind is liberated from the confines of physical form and allowed to project its inner workings in full display. In this state, the boundaries that normally separate reality from imagination begin to blur, giving rise to a series of visions that are as diverse as they are revealing. These visions, whether peaceful or wrathful, serve as mirrors reflecting the accumulated impressions, desires, and fears of lifetimes past. Within the Koniad Bardo, the experience is both awe-inspiring and, at times, overwhelming. The peaceful visions often emerge first, presenting images of serene deities and enlightened beings that radiate calm and benevolence. These figures, reminiscent of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, are manifestations of the mind's positive qualities. Their appearance suggests that, at some level, the consciousness carries within it seeds of profound wisdom and compassion. However, for a mind unprepared to grasp the true nature of these visions, even such serene imagery may evoke uncertainty, leading to a retreat into familiar patterns of doubt and confusion. On the other side of the spectrum lie the wrathful visions, projections that embody the unacknowledged fears and repressed emotions of the self. These manifestations, often depicted in monstrous and unsettling forms, are not external demons but intrinsic aspects of the psyche. They serve as potent reminders of the attachments, anger, and unresolved tensions that continue to bind the consciousness to cycles of suffering. The intensity of these images can be both illuminating and disconcerting, offering a stark portrayal of the inner turmoil that has been nurtured over many lives. The Coniad Bardo presents a landscape where every vision carries the potential for transformation. The interplay between the peaceful and the wrathful reflects the duality of the mind's own construction. In this realm, the clarity of the experience is heightened, akin to a vivid dream that reveals the underlying architecture of the self. The teachings of the Bardo Thodol emphasize that these visions are not meant to be feared or clung to, rather, they are transient expressions of the mind's vast inner world. The opportunity lies in recognizing that each image, no matter how intense, is ultimately empty, a fleeting projection without inherent permanence. The narrative of this Bardo is both a challenge and a guide. It speaks in a conversational tone, urging a calm observation of the unfolding visions without succumbing to the impulses of attachment or aversion. The clarity required to see through the surface of these projections is cultivated through practices of mindfulness and meditation, which prepare the mind to maintain lucidity in the midst of overwhelming images. The Coniad Bardo, therefore, is not a punishment but a profound opportunity for self-inquiry. It is a phase where the truth of one's own nature is laid bare, inviting an intimate exploration of the very essence of consciousness. By embracing this moment of revelation with equanimity, the mind can begin to dissolve the barriers of fear and misunderstanding. The insights gained in this state serve as stepping stones toward a deeper liberation, as the transient visions gradually give way to the enduring clarity of the clear light. In this way, the Coniad Bardo functions as both a mirror and a teacher, an invitation to understand that the seemingly chaotic play of images is simply the mind's way of pointing back to its own true nature. As the journey through the inner landscapes continues, the final transition unfolds in the Siddha Bardo, a stage that heralds the choice of rebirth. In this phase, the accumulated energies of a lifetime, imprinted as subtle karmic forces, guide the consciousness toward its next existence. The Siddha Bardo is marked by a profound interplay between desire and detachment, where the yearning for continuity often competes with the possibility of ultimate liberation. In this realm, the consciousness finds itself immersed in a series of vivid, symbolic visions that hint at the formation of a new life. These images, sometimes reminiscent of the union of opposites or the natural processes of creation, serve as metaphors for the reawakening of desire. The interplay of emotions and unresolved attachments becomes particularly potent here. The impressions left behind by past actions and unfulfilled longings act like gravitational forces, drawing the consciousness toward circumstances that mirror its inner state. In this sense, the process of rebirth is not random but deeply intertwined with the karmic fabric woven over countless lifetimes. Within the Siddha Bardo, the narratives that arise are imbued with both the beauty of potential and the cautionary notes of past entanglements. The imagery of couples in union, for instance, symbolizes not just the creation of new life but also the powerful pull of desire, a force that can either propel the consciousness toward renewal or keep it tethered to a cycle of recurring patterns. For those who have cultivated a mind capable of detachment, these visions offer a final chance to recognize their ephemeral nature. The key lies in maintaining a sense of lucidity, a steady awareness that allows the intrinsic emptiness of these images to be seen clearly. This transitional phase is imbued with an urgency that speaks to the profound nature of existence. The Siddha Bardo underscores the idea that every rebirth is an opportunity for growth, a chance to resolve lingering conflicts and deepen the understanding of the self. The process, often described as a psychic storm, is as natural as it is transformative. It is a moment when the accumulated energies, both light and dark, converge to shape the destiny of the next life. In this way, the Siddha Bardo acts as a crucible, where the elements of past experiences are distilled into the very blueprint of future existence. Yet, the text of the Bardo Thodol does more than just describe this process. It offers a way out of the relentless cycle of rebirth. By encouraging a sustained practice of mindfulness and a deep contemplation of one's desires and fears during life, the guide suggests that the gravitational pull toward an undesired rebirth can be softened. The final invitation is one of liberation, to remain centered amidst the storm of visions, to recognize that the allure of a new body is merely another projection of the mind. When this understanding is embraced fully, the possibility arises to merge once more with the clear light, transcending the cycles of samsara entirely. The Siddha Bardo, with all its intensity, reflects a timeless truth about the interplay between choice and destiny. It serves as a reminder that the path of rebirth is not predetermined by external forces but is the natural outcome of internal processes. This phase of the journey invites a reflective pause, a moment to consider the lasting impact of one's actions and the transformative power of letting go. In this way, the teachings resonate with an enduring message, that liberation lies not in the escape from life's natural cycles but in the profound realization of the emptiness that underlies every transient experience. Such is the ultimate promise woven through the timeless narrative of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. A guide that speaks quietly yet powerfully to the mystery of existence. If this journey into the unknown resonated with you, share this video and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments what intrigues you most about life after death. For the path of self-knowledge is long, and together, we can explore the greatest mysteries of existence. Thank you for watching.